Hi, Megan. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
So, I know last session during our intake, we talked a little bit about your family and like who you're close to, what your relationships look like. But I wanted to dive more into that this week. Does that sound okay with you?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. And so, what we're going to do today is we're going to make a genogram together. It might look something like this. Um, it's basically it's like a family tree, but we're also going to chart what your relationships are like with your family members and if there's any illness, disease, or deaths that have happened in the family.
Okay, that sounds good.
Do you have any questions before we jump into it?
Um, I can't think of any right now, but if I do have something at some point, I'll ask you.
Okay. And I'm going to be drawing while we talk, and then at the end, we'll walk through what the genogram looks like.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. Well, do you have any siblings?
I do have one sibling. I have a sister.
Okay. What's her name?
Her name is Emma.
How old is she?
She's 13 years old.
Okay. And what's your relationship like with her?
Me and her are actually really close, even though there's
Okay.
a bit of an age gap. We're still really close.
Okay. And tell me about your parents.
Okay. So it's my mom and my dad. They're divorced. I have kind of a rocky relationship with my mom.
Okay.
We don't always get along, but me and my dad have a pretty normal relationship, honestly. We talk pretty frequently and see each other.
Okay. And when did they get divorced?
They got divorced 3 or 4 years ago, and they had been married for like 20 something years. So,
Okay. Was
yeah,
that difficult for you?
it was tough. I mean, it's been a bit of an adjustment, just
Mhm.
them not being around, but they get along good enough still. So,
Okay. All right. And does your mom have any siblings?
my mom does have one brother, my uncle Frank.
Okay. And what's their relationship like?
Honestly, they're pretty distant from each other. They don't talk that much at all. So that kind of me and him are pretty distant too.
Okay. So y'all don't really interact very much.
I
Okay.
don't we only see him on holidays, so
Okay. And then are their parents
um
still alive, or what's going on with their parents?
yeah, so my grandma and grandpa were married, but they both passed away now. My grandma passed away, I guess I think 3 years ago, and my granddad had died the year before.
Okay. Were you close with them?
I was close with both of them, so it
Okay.
was pretty tough. They lived near us, so we were all pretty close.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry for your loss. I know it's hard to lose both grandparents one after the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then your dad, what are his parents like?
Um, so it's my pop and my nana. They're still married. They're both still alive. Um, I have a good relationship with them too. I know
Mhm.
my dad's relationship is a little bit rocky with my nana, but
Mhm.
I'm still pretty close with them.
Okay. And um, have there been any history of mental illness or other physical illness of any family members?
So my grandma, which is my mom's mom, she had dementia,
Okay.
and my mom, she has depression.
Okay. Okay. And what did your grandpa die from? Or your papa, was that what you called him?
I know I said two different things. My grandpa, he died from old age. He was 90, so
Okay.
he just kind of got sick and
So
stuff.
they both lived pretty long lives. And how old are your Nana and Pop?
They're 85. Yeah, so both sets of my
Wow.
grandparents lived long lives or
Wow.
living. Mhm.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to tell me about your family?
Um, no, I think that's all I can think of right now.
Okay. Um, so here is the genogram I drew while we were talking. And I know it might look a little bit confusing at first, but I'll explain it. So here's you,
Hmm.
here's your sister, and there are two lines here to signify how close y'all are. And then we have your dad and your mom. This signifies that they're divorced, and this signifies that you have kind of a rocky relationship with your mom.
Mhm.
This is her Uncle Frank. And these dotted lines show that you're distant to him, and then he's also distant with mom. And then here are your granny and papa, and they both have X's in them because they have passed away. And your grandma has that she has dementia over here. And then over here on your dad's side, we have his strained relationship with your grandma. And this shows that your Nana and Pop are still together. And all of the regular lines just signify that you have like a normal relationship with them. Do you have any questions about this?
Can I have a copy of that whenever before I leave? That's really
Absolutely. I will make you a copy so that you have it before you leave. And then next week, if you think of anything about your family or relationships, or even asking, like, hey, do we have a history of heart disease or something in our family? Then we can update it the next time you come in.
okay. Yeah, I think it'll be cool to add on to that.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming in and talking about your family. And I think this will give us a good basis to work off of together now that I know more about what your relationships are with your family.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks, Carson.